Hello, friends, and welcome to the Jerry and Skeeter podcast, where we talk about everything and anything we want. If you enjoy the podcast, feel free to subscribe. Now let's get on with today's topic.
It's not make me do this. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Honestly.
Nailed it. I like how you just have hot tamales in the background.
Well, I had that fit yesterday, so my husband brought me that cup and hot tamales.
Oh yes, the cup intro. Let's do our cups.
My cup today is stay positive that my husband bought me last night because I had a mood swing and yelled at him.
Mood swing and yelled at him. That's amazing.
That's fine. I'm healthy.
Mine is just, I don't know if it's a rabbit or if it's a cat. I like to say it's a cat, but there's like a fluffy tail on the back. I am drinking White Claw. I mean a nondescript, non-sponsored beverage.
I'm drinking water. I feel very okay. That's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, but his name is Steven.
That's a good
smart
name.
Cat.
It looks more like a cat.
Let's call it Steve. It's a pretty name. I hate that I know that line. It's fine.
What is that from?
Over the Hedge.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. I always loved that line because the guy who voices the squirrel, the actor's name is Steve.
That's so funny.
And so that's why he's like, let's name it Steve. It's a pretty name. No grip, no grip. Less claw, more paw. Okay, anyways, let's kind of talk a little bit about like what's been going on for the past
Yeah, because we've been gone.
We've been gone for a while.
Whoopsie.
Sorry, not sorry.
Well,
it was unavoidable.
Well, yeah, my trip was very unexpected.
Yeah.
Needless to say. But now we get to talk about it. Oh, okay.
Well, we saw the crevice, my boobs.
I don't know if we want to. I don't know if I can talk about, or should I just talk about the whole reason why I was gone, or?
I mean, yeah, if you want. It's all about how much you want to share. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
Okay, so trigger warning here. I'm gonna be talking about family death. So if that's a trigger, just skip ahead a little bit.
We'll put a timestamp on the video.
Yeah.
In the description or something.
Yeah. So I got basically a call on a Monday. My mom saying that my grandpa, not this Monday, like 3-4 weeks ago, saying that my grandpa was put on end of life care, which if you don't know what that means they took him off all his medications and they were just basically waiting for him to pass. And so basically by Wednesday I was back in my home state, and I didn't get to talk to my grandpa a lot because my cousins were there Wednesday when I arrived, so he was talking with them. And Thursday was kind of my day with him, even though he couldn't talk, but I just kind of held his hand and stayed with him. And then Friday, the last cousin came, and she had her time with him, and by Saturday he was gone. So he literally waited for all of us grandkids to come say goodbye, and then he passed. And then we had the funeral the following Thursday, and I ended up staying home an extra week just to hang out with my mom and stuff, make sure she was okay. And then I came back and left again for another wedding. So,
oh yeah, because that's right, because you had 2 different weddings.
Yeah, I had 2 different weddings, which I'll talk about the first one as we talk about our thing. But yeah, that's why I was gone. So
Uh, yeah, I would remember when you called me because obviously we're best friends. When you called me, I had Fowler and his husband over at my house. I mean, we were like hanging out, and I remember trying to like you told me what was going on, and it like shocked me into being sober because I was maybe a few margaritas in, and
mhm.
it just like because like I mean I obviously wasn't expecting that to happen, and I just remember because not long ago my grandma passed as well, and so I knew like what was going on and like what goes through your mind when you get that kind of stuff, that kind of news. And so um it was definitely really shocking, and like all I wanted to do was like drive out and come see you and like make sure you were okay because this was a week before classes started, so technically we haven't even done a podcast since my classes have been going.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was so tempted to just come out and like drive you guys up there and make sure you guys were okay and everything, but you know, my mom basically talked me out of it. So and your husband and I talked about it and getting you a flight out there and everything.
Honestly, I cannot tell you how badly I wanted you to come up, as I
I
just
know.
wanted another person.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then and I knew like that's like I because I wanted that too. Like it's part of the reason why like I hate that I live so far away from you because it's like I would rather just be able to be there for you when things
Yeah.
happen and like have you be there for me. Uh, so it's long distance friendships are really fucking hard. I see this
Yeah.
bitch like in real life maybe
Once a
like
year-ish?
twice, yeah,
Twice a
maybe
year?
once or twice a year, maybe like when we actually get to hang out.
Yeah.
So it's rough. Shout out to all
Especially
of you
when
who have friends in different states and don't ever get to see any friends. Don't know how to make new ones, so we just stay in our houses and we don't
Fact.
go anywhere.
So
Yeah,
true.
uh so while she was gone, I got COVID and I basically died for a week, so that was fun. Um I couldn't talk for 3 days cuz my throat was hurting. I had the worst migraine I've ever had in my life. I was in bed literally for a week. Um, I had to have somebody else write my emails to my professors because I couldn't look at any screens. Um, and I couldn't take care of myself. And I went and got tested, and it was like came back positive, and I was like, cool. And it's probably I was talking to my gym buddy about this and was like, I don't even know where I would have gotten it because I'm like, I'm usually really safe about it. And she was like, you probably got it at the gym. And I was like,
That was my
the
first thought.
one thing that I'm doing in my life to make myself healthy and it gets me fucking COVID.
No, literally, Jess and I were talking about. I was like, I 1000% think it was the gym because
Yeah.
gyms aren't usually cleanly,
Hmm.
like during non-COVID. I can't imagine that they're still
Yeah.
very
And
clean
like
during COVID.
and like I had just gotten like the first dose of the vaccine. So I thought like whenever I first started feeling sick, I thought it was just like a reaction to the
Hmm.
first dose. And so I just ignored it. I was like, it's fine, it's whatever. But when you get a vaccine, it lowers your immune system because for those of you who don't know what a vaccine, it's a very small portion of like the it's either the dead virus or whatever, and they put it in your system so that your body learns how to fight it off. And so you can have a lot of the reactions that like if you get a flu shot, you can get like flu symptoms because that's your body learning how to fight the flu. But
Science.
science. But what when you get a vaccine, it lowers your immune system because your body is fighting the vaccine because it's learning how to fight the virus. And so I think that what happened was when I got the first dose, it lowered my immune system just enough to let me get COVID. Like, cool. I was like, Mom, I bet if I didn't get the vaccine that I probably wouldn't have got sick. And she was like, yeah, I don't think that's true. And I was like, whatever, like you work in a hospital. Crazy. But yeah, no. I spent 1 week with like very like minimal, like I started getting headaches for about a week before I actually got, well, I guess I probably had it, but I got like headaches in the evenings, and I was just like, I was sleeping really well and everything. I don't know. And then the next week I just died. I wasn't able to do anything. I sat in a dark room listening to podcasts because I couldn't look at any screens. And I was wearing sunglasses inside because it was like the headache was so bad. And like, but once I started to feel better, I came back to my apartment because my mom came to pick me up and take care of me. I couldn't take care of myself. And I was like, oh my God, it was so bad because I told myself, I'm not going to call my mom. I'm not going to ask for help. I'm going to do this myself. It's fine. I'm going to get past this. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to be okay. And the next day, I literally couldn't sit up out of bed. And I was like, Mom, can you come get me?
Mommy, come save me.
and then like my mom, I thought she was just going to come for like a day, make sure I was settled, like go to the store for me, like make sure I was okay. And then like take me to get tested and then bring me back and I'll be okay. She was like, no, how about you just get in the car and come with me and I will take care of you, bring you back to our house and like take care of you there. And I was like, but cats, I have cats. Like I can't. And like, there's a guy that lives with my parents right now. My brother, Chris, is living with, and he's allergic to cats. So I couldn't bring them with me. And so she was like, well, why don't you text Casey and see if Casey can come and take care of your cats? And I started crying. I told Casey this last night. I was like, or night before last. I was like, I started crying because I did not want to ask you for help. That's how much I did not want to ask you for help. I started bawling, and my mom was like, give me the phone and I'll call Casey. I'm like, no, I'll text her.
We don't call here.
My generation does not call people, mother.
Unless it's an emergency. Like
no, I didn't even call my mom because I couldn't talk.
Right.
Because my throat was hurting so bad. So I was texting all the time. Like I had like a notebook that I was writing all of my thoughts on, like to show my mom.
Well, that's like, so when my mom called, you know how I hate talking on the phone. First person I called was my husband, and then I was like, do I message her? Like, I was literally staring at my phone. I was like, no, I just need to call her because like,
yeah, that makes sense. And I immediately, when you called me, I walked outside because I knew like you don't call people.
I don't call
people. Something happened. Actually, I think, yeah, no, because I was with Valor when you called the first time.
Right, because I called you Monday when it happened, and then Tuesday to get everything sorted.
You called me when I was at Sally's getting my hair dye because I dyed my hair black, which
didn't really stick.
No, wow. I mean, it didn't dye my roots at all. But and like now it's like a dark like steel blue.
Yeah, no, I
gray.
like it now. It's so
I like
pretty.
it too. I just want my fun colors back.
Yeah.
It's too normal.
No, it's blue. Like it looks blue from my screen.
Yeah, it definitely like it's like bluish purple, and the only thing I don't like is like it's not like even.
Yeah.
Because it's like so I've dyed it so many times. There's like a lot of banding. But yeah, so that is why I haven't been streaming and I haven't been doing anything, is because I basically didn't talk for a week and I was dead. So I've never, and the funny thing is like my throat was hurting so bad. I didn't even like puff on my Juul at all because that's how bad my throat was hurt. Okay, listen, like I know, but bro, the first time I puffed on my Juul the week, like, because I hadn't done it for a week.
You could have just like not done it.
I could have just not.
You just could have like not.
Bro, it hit me right there. And I was just like, oh, wow. Very high indeed. So, yeah. Okay, so our title is a little bit like nondescript.
Yeah.
So basically what please don't make me do this means is like we're going to be talking about social anxiety primarily, anxiety in general, and
Mhm.
apparently Skeeter has um a few stories or a story for us from her time away from her computer that she's going to talk to us about.
Yeah. Um so I'll get the fun, like the non-fun one out of the way. But basically, so my grandparents had 3 children. There's my uncle Sean. My son is not named after him. That's a different Sean.
I know. I know.
Okay. My mom, Chris, and then my other uncle Ryan, quotations, Zoomer. Zoomer is his nickname.
Oh,
Because
that's a fun nickname.
he drag raced Mustangs. Yeah, I had fun time childhoods.
I mean, there's not really much else to do in North Dakota, I assume.
Facts. So anyways, so there's the 3 children. And then there's 5 grandkids. So Zoomer has 1 kid, my mom has me, and then my uncle Sean has 3. A
lot of babies.
Yeah, so Saturday we got the news that my grandpa passed. So obviously my mom was in the middle of cutting my undercut because it was really grown out. I had planned on going back to my person around that time. And obviously that didn't work out. So my mom was just trimming it up as best she could. And like in the middle of that, we got the call. So dropped everything, grabbed Keenan, fucking started booking it an hour to the nursing home, which I will say this. If you ever had to put someone in a nursing home, double check the nursing home. This nursing home was charging $14,000 a month, and they did not take care of my grandfather at all. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I'm just putting it out there. Be careful.
Have a story about that.
Maybe we should do funeral home stories.
Let's not do that. But I do have a story about my grandma's nursing home.
Yeah, I mean,
after you're done.
From the beginning, I hated this nursing home. I would tell my mom, you need to get him out of there. You need to get him out of there. And my grandmother is just like, well, where would we put him? And I was like, there's like plenty of other places in this place. Just please. Anyways, so we get there and the lady from the funeral home came. Mel, she was a doll. I loved her. So they like got him ready to transport, and she took him out to the hearse, and we set up a meeting for that following Sunday because she was already about to meet a family, and we had to go to a wedding that night.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I'll talk about the wedding separately because like there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So Sunday we get to the funeral home, and basically nobody was really taking charge.
Love that.
My grandma had brought some pictures, and I was like, the first thing I did was go through them, and half of them weren't even of my grandpa. So I just like, okay, that's where your mental state is at. Perfect. And then my mom and Zoomer were physically there, and they were just kind of quiet. which is not normal for my mom, but kind of normal for my Uncle Zoomer. And then my Uncle Sean was on the phone driving home. So he was there, but kind of like not paying attention, which is an issue that happened. But anyways, so guess who got basically had to take charge in this very awkward situation?
I know.
Who?
It was the dog.
Yes!
No, it had to have been you. You're the star of the show.
It had to be the former Marine who just kind of knew a little bit about taking charge. So, yeah, no. So basically,
you were in the Marine Corps, you know, organization. No?
No. No. So basically, I had to like take charge, which I don't like doing, you know that. But I did because it was my grandpa and I wanted him to be honored the best way possible. So we wrote the obituary. Which, should I tell about that or no? I feel like, should I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I know already, so you don't really have to like tell me if you don't want to, but like, do you want that out there?
Yeah,
no?
Anyways, there was an issue with the obituary, and that was very stressful on my grandmother, and I was very angry about it. The entitlement that some people feel that they have is just anyways, so that was a whole thing.
Suck my dick and balls. That's all I'm gonna say.
But yeah, so obviously I didn't have like final say on things, but I would point them in the right direction of what they should pick. It was so obvious too that like by the end of the meeting, Mel was only coming to me to like talk about things, so it was just, but
it's so stressful going through all of that. I remember like when I've had family members die, like it is chaos.
Honestly, I think I just like flipped the switch. You remember like when we worked at the brig, how Matt Sarton would tell you to flip the switch?
Compartmentalization.
Yeah, so wow. I just like flipped the switch, went through the motions. I was like, we buried him in his army uniform as well. So I was like, oh god, like what ribbons does he need? What medals? Like what all this stuff, and went into like getting that. And I was stressing over that, but Mel was like, I'll just call the American Legion. They usually like have stuff for this. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I don't have to worry about that.
I'm just trying to picture like this is gonna be kind of like I'm gonna make it about me for a second.
Okay.
If somebody tried to bury me in my dress blues, I would look like the Pillsbury Doughboy, like poking out of it, because I don't even think I would fit anymore. And like I just can't imagine like I would also I would feel like even though I was dead, my skin would be burning.
My skin would be burning. No, they like cut it up the back so it looks like it fits. But also my grandfather had lost a lot of weight.
Oh.
Like he did not look like the same person when I saw him. But
I'm not laughing at what you're saying. I'm laughing about the slit up the back, because we used to have guys that were like went to the gym all the time and they would like bust out of their like their uniforms all the time, and it always reminded me of that movie. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's like fat guy in a little coat. And it splits down the back. That's what I'm thinking about. I promise I'm not laughing at your pain.
It's fine.
It's just my own chaotic brain, okay?
All of this is staying in.
Okay. Oh, man.
No. Yeah, so Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I lost the point somewhere around the.
You were stressing about the uniform Legion.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she took care of that, and we picked out the casket. I do. I'm gonna say this one. I'm gonna say this one. So we picked out a casket. It was like a sky blue,
Mm.
and well, sky, not really like sky blue, like sky blue, but like 2 shades darker, I would say, like a pearlescent blue. Yeah, kind of like that, but like, yeah. So, that's the one my grandma picked out, and it was, of course, like one of the cheaper ones, obviously. Um,
Caskets are so expensive.
they are so expensive. The one I really liked, it was too thin.
Mm.
But it basically was like it was wooden, and it basically looked like it could come from a pirate ship kind of wood. It had like that worn
Oh,
look.
cool.
So I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be buried in. I want it to be a pirate ship.
I'll just wrap it up. I'll take it with me.
Yeah. So that one was about 3,400. So keep that in mind for when you bury me.
Oh
um
God.
There is so that's like maybe we should like this is fascinating to me, like the whole pricing of funerals. Like I was honestly, side story. My husband came over here cuz he was talking to his mom today, and he was like talking about how they want to move down here, and I was like, "Okay, cool." My first question was so where do they want to be buried? Because like you gotta start thinking about those things, like not us, but like them,
But
you know.
our parents who are closer to death.
Yeah, our parents, like, and like like luckily for us, grandpa had like set some things, like he had stated he wanted to be buried in
Yeah,
his uniform, so that's what we did. But it's like
that's good.
it got me thinking, like, you have to make a plan and like sooner
Bro,
the
I
better.
already have my funeral plan, dude. Like when I have
Oh
like
god.
some girls grow up like planning like their wedding, right? You know, it's every girl's dream to like plan their wedding. Nah, bitch. I
Love
wanted to
it.
plan my funeral.
Funeral.
So I have like this whole plan. I want it to be almost like an Irish wake. I want everybody to have their own bottle of alcohol because I want everybody to get fucking trashed. I don't want anyone to wear black. I want to donate my body to science and then have myself cremated for free and sent back in like a vase. I don't
I
or
like
the I
it.
don't care.
No, so like yeah, so like my grandpa had stated nobody wear black, and
Mm.
the
That kind of guy.
uniform thing, and also my mom put a bottle of beer in his casket with him to take with him. Uh so yeah, it was a good, it was good. I don't know.
Good.
And Mel did a fantastic job with like his body. My mom's like was telling me her when her and grandma went and looked, grandma was like, "Wow, he looks like 10 years younger." My mom's like, "No, he looks 30 years younger." Like he looked really good. But yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't know if this is really well, yeah, I get okay, so this is kind of stressful. So at the actual funeral, um obviously I had Keenan with, and for some particular reason he did not want to behave during that 1 hour of there. So like the 1 hour visitation before, it was fine because he could run around in the front and like nobody like not bother anybody. But like as soon as I tried like starting the ceremony and I tried holding him and like going up with the family, but like I couldn't. So I had to take him out of the actual like church part into like the sitting area or whatever, and
Mhm.
just like sit there, which was very like I don't know, is upsetting the right word? I don't know. I was just super stressed at that point because I was like, I can't be there, and basically just had to like sit outside. But luckily a family friend came out, and she actually um her daughter used to babysit me, and so like I would always be at their house. Um but yeah, she came out, and the church that the service was at was actually like a school as well. So she took him to like the playground and stuff, and I went back inside, and I, because of my social anxiety, didn't want to walk all the way to the front where the family was at. So I saw my other grandparents from like my dad's side, so I just went and sat with them. So I
Yeah.
got to still like see some of the service, and I did not cry except for one part. um
We
so
don't brag about that. It's okay to cry. Okay
no.
if you need to cry.
I didn't have
But I
water.
understand, like, not wanting to cry,
Yeah.
like, because that's just part of, like, social anxiety.
Hmm.
Like, you don't wanna look like that in front of a bunch of people. I get it.
Yeah, but so it was during the is it called the eulogy,
Mhm.
right, where somebody gets up and talks about them.
Yeah.
So my mom couldn't do it. Obviously, she said she couldn't do it. I said, Don't make me do it because I won't be able to make it through it." So our friend, our like my mom's friend, Sandy, did it. Like my mom wrote it, but Sandy read it for
Right,
her.
right.
And so on Wednesday, when my cousins were with my grandpa, that
Mhm.
was his last day of him actually speaking words. And there's this bar that he would always go to called The Bun. And so he said to my older cousin Forrest, get me out of here, get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. And my cousin Forrest was like, "Well, where do you want to go, Grandpa? Where do you want me to take you?" And he said The Bun.
I fucking love him.
And like we all laughed, but like that was like the moment at the funeral when she was like retelling the story that I like lost it, but like made it through. And yeah, it was okay. I made it through that. But yeah. And then the um burial was about an hour and a half away. We had to drive up to northern Minnesota in the butt fuck nowhere. And
What a way to describe your grandpa's final resting place. The butt fuck
of nowhere.
of nowhere.
I mean, but I sent you Snapchats of it. It's really, really pretty, but also very rural. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing out there.
it's North Dakota.
It's Minnesota actually.
Minnesota. My bad.
um
Minnesota.
but yeah, and so like at the burial part, I had to play a song. My grandma wanted a song played, and Mel wasn't able to come up, so like Dan, the like head of the funeral, was gonna be up there, and he didn't know technology. So who got put in charge of playing the song for technology? Yeah. So that was nerve-wracking, but nothing went wrong, so it was perfectly fine. I could meld back into the crowd perfectly. And yeah, it was a good day. But yeah.
Yeah. Like, um, I don't know if I ever told you this, but when I was dating Shelby, one of his friends died,
Mhm.
and we had to go to the funeral. And of course, being the supportive, amazing girlfriend that I was, I went with him. And it was really, really sad. But like he was his friend's mom wanted him to give the eulogy,
Mhm.
or like say a few words. And I guess nobody told the funeral director that. And so he was just, like, very confused as, like, the progression happened, and he, like, was, like, gonna go up to the stage because he had prepared something,
Mhm.
and his fucking like, basically had to stop everything because the funeral director was like, "Oh, okay, come on, like, let's do this." And it was just, like, really awkward and
Awkward,
weird.
yeah.
Um, but then, like, after he was, like, introducing me to all these people because, like, it's family and friends and everything, and, I didn't know anybody there, and, but, like, he, like, wanted me to, like, to introduce me to these people, and I have usually a bottle of alcohol at all times. It's just who I am as a person. I, well, I did. I had some apple pie moonshine in the back of my car. And I offered that, we do a toast because Shelby knew, well, Shelby actually offered that I do the toast or like we have a toast. And so I went and I had some red solo cups in the back of my car. I had the moonshine. I was like, okay. So I sit there and I pour a shot for everybody. I pour a shot for myself. And the casket passed by as we were doing this. And I guess like the guy's like brother, the guy who had died, his brother was there, and he's like, perfect timing. He's like talking to his brother. He's like, perfect timing, bro. You always know when to show up when the shots are poured. So like I poured one out for the homies, and we all took a shot, and it was just like so awkward and weird, and like it was sweet and kind of funny, and like that was like a good like release for a lot of the people there because like they were all like the people obviously doing the shots were like all our age, but it was just like I had never been more uncomfortable in my life than doing shots at a random person's funeral who I didn't know.
Yeah. And I feel like funerals are like a whole nother type of social anxiety.
Yeah, because you don't know if you're supposed to be like, and this is something that I struggle with, is like, especially at funerals, is like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be like somber or if I'm supposed to be like joking around and making everybody kind of distract them a little bit. Look over here, it's a magic carton of milk.
Magic
I
carton.
don't, I don't know. I don't know how to act because like the way that I deal with like stress and anxiety and like sadness is deflect and avoid and make jokes
Yeah.
and be funny, and that's how I deal with it. And a lot of other people don't deal with it that way. They do it by tears and sadness or sometimes anger, and I'm like, flower.
Flower.
Like I don't know how to deal with this. But like when my grandma passed, kind of like similar to, like I feel like my grandma and your grandpa would have gotten along. My grandma, when she died of brain cancer, but like as she was going through like chemo and things like that, she shaved her head, and then all of my cousins and my brother, they all shaved their heads in like solidarity with my grandma. And like I remember one of my favorite stories is actually my brother. My brother and my grandma went to Walmart together in like one of her final days, because it really like it progressed really rapidly. So she was really normal, and then just like throughout a week just like was not with us anymore. So it just happened like really fast. But they were going to Walmart together to get something, and my brother put his arm around my grandma as like a side hug to like walk with her, and my grandma at the top of her lungs goes like this and is like, no, don't hit me again. So everybody in the store is looking at my brother like he beats my grandma, which he doesn't. He's like, Grandma, what the fuck? And she's just laughing. She's just like, gotcha. Like,
So
oh my
funny.
god, grandma. But it was just like my grandma was something else. Like she like spent a day with all of us grandkids, and my she had a really long talk with my brother about his behavior because my brother's kind of a dick. Uh,
Well,
and
that didn't
and
change.
mm, and then her day with my sister, they like cooked. My sister made her some soups and stuff, and like they just had like a really chill, peaceful time together. When it was my day, guess what my grandma wanted to do? She's like, "Hey, can you drive me to the casino?"
I thought I was gonna say casino because I think I remember you telling me about it.
Mhm. Yeah. So my grandma spends like these like loving like final hours with like my siblings and stuff. When was my day, my grandma was like, "We're gonna go and we're gonna play slots." Okay. I was like,
I mean, that sounds like a good time to
I
me.
was like, okay. And so we were walking around, she's smoking her cigarettes and like doing what my grandma does. And like, I was just like, I got pulled over on the way there and I almost got a ticket because I was driving my aunt's car. And it was just like, she didn't have any of the insurance in her car. So I almost got arrested.
Oh my
My, gr-
god.
my grandma played the cancer card when the cop pulled us over. She's like, I have cancer. This is my last time going to the casino. So like, maybe like take it easy on her. And I was like, I was so embarrassed and I was angry because I was embarrassed and I was like, this is bullshit and blah blah blah. And she's like, shut the fuck up and take responsibility for getting pulled over. And I was like, okay, you're right. I mean, I
You
was speeding
right.
technically, but like that was a bullshit speed trap and they know it. But fine. And she's just like, it was just like such a great time. And like we had like story time and like we did like a projection of like memories and stuff growing up and everything, and it was like it was really nice, but it was also just really like heart-wrenching because it's just like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So but my family, we deal with death like everybody, almost everybody in my family deals with death with comedy. um Especially my grandma, because I guess they were like deciding like how she wanted to be buried because she wanted to be cremated. And she was like, I want to have my ashes mixed with you guys' grandpa's ashes because he was cremated as well. And she's like, they're talking to the funeral director about like how to do this and everything. She's like, on second thought, I don't want to be put in the same vessel as him because I don't want his elbow up my ass for the rest of eternity. And the funeral director was just like, she knows she's dying, right? And we're like, yeah. Yeah, she knows. She
She
knows she's
does.
dying. And my grandma's name was Bonnie. And so there was a joke that my dad made about having a bonfire where where we like throw our ashes into the fire and have a bonfire. She
Oh
thought it was
my
hilarious.
god.
But it was like I think it made it easier because that was the first time I'd had a family member pass where I actually got to say goodbye.
Yeah.
So it
Uh,
definitely is a lot easier.
yeah,
I don't know
that's
if easier is the right word, but
I would say it's a lot easier. Uh I don't know. It's hard to explain. Well, first of all, funerals for me have always been awkward because like they're not there anymore. So like you're saying goodbye to a body. You're not saying
yeah.
goodbye to them. They're already gone. So like that's always been my thought process. And anytime I'm crying at funerals, I'm not crying for myself. I'm crying because other like the people next to me are in pain.
Mhm.
I've always been that way. Like my
'Cause
sister
you're
had
super empathetic.
yeah, my sister had a cat that died and I hated that cat, but I was bawling because she was bawling. Anyways,
Charlie checks to see where my cats are, it's fine. But yeah.
um but yeah, so like uh, I guess that's why it was easier for me cuz like I've always had that thought process, and then like just being in the military I was able to like flip the switch and just like organize everything so that it's how grandpa would want.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like seeing him and saying, well, I never said goodbye,
Yeah, because you
technically.
never it's not really something that you do, it's more of, like,
No.
the time that you spend with them is your way of
Yeah.
saying
Like
goodbye, you
that
know?
Thursday, I basically just held his hand and like I said, he wanted to talk to me, but he couldn't speak. So every time he like would look at me, I said, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. And
Yeah.
then but yeah, so I think definitely like seeing him like saying goodbye made it like easier for like when it came time because I don't know. Because he's not in the body anymore. It's just a vessel, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
So,
the
moving on from
the sad
funerals,
stuffs.
I can kinda do a break in here where I talk about how shitty my grandma's, like, nursing home was
Oh my
or
god.
is. So, I have 3 grandmas. Well, had. I had 3 grandmas. I have 2 because I have 1 grandma that passed. So my dad's dad got remarried. So my grandpa got remarried, and so I have like almost like a step grandma.
Yeah.
And she has dementia, and she's in a nursing home. And the guy that she got remarried to after my grandpa passed, was a dick, like an actual dick. Like he was very, very physically abusive,
Mm,
mentally abusive, and she kind of suffered from like battered wife syndrome, I think.
right.
Um, that's my personal diagnosis because I don't really understand. But she later in life she developed dementia, and he would come and kidnap her from the nursing home because he's her husband. He would pick her up. He would sign her out, pick her up, and she wouldn't know who the fuck he is because he has dementia. And he would like kidnap her. And this nursing home was just allowing them, like allowing this to happen over and over and over and over and over and over again. And this was after there was like a hold on him, like a legal hold on him, like
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called. But like he was not supposed to be anywhere near her because there had been legal action taken by my aunt to like make sure that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And but like they just kept letting him take her, and they eventually wound up moving her to a different care facility. And then like when COVID and everything hit, it got really, really scary because obviously she's older and COVID is like a really big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like terrifying, but my aunt was able to deal with it. But like some nursing homes, like you really have to vet them because they don't give a shit. They don't, because I feel like a lot of times when we're in a work environment, we forget that we're actually working with people, and people are people, like if your waitress like drops your drinks, like people make mistakes and people fuck up. And but at the same time, like this man beat her within an inch of her life more than once. Like
Yeah.
there's a reason why we don't want him taking her out of the facility, period. And so it's just like, I don't know. It really pissed everybody off, but eventually, she's okay now. Um she's okay now. They put her into a different facility and everything, but it's just like vet your nursing homes, vet the people who are taking care of the people who took care of you,
Yeah.
because it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because there was there was a point where because my grandpa had a stroke, that's why he ended up in the nursing home in the first place.
Yeah.
And there was a point where he was almost walking again. And then I don't know what happened, if like the physical therapist left or if he didn't want to work with any other physical therapists, but um that was kind of like the start of it. And then
Mhm.
I think COVID hit and he really was alone. And then I think that's where it like progressively got worse. Because like he wasn't
Yeah.
meant to be in a nursing home and he never wanted to be in a nursing home. And so it was just, I don't know. I from the first time I went and visited him in the nursing home, I was immediately pissed off because like my mom,
As you know.
yeah, my mom was telling me how she would cut his hair and they wouldn't change his linens so it smelled in there, and like yeah, it was
Probably had, like, bed sores.
yeah, I
Ugh.
yeah. I hated that place. And the frustrating part is it's the nursing home that's connected to the hospital. And they charge an obscene amount of money and they don't even take care of the people in the nursing home. And I'm not saying it's everyone, because there was a really sweet nurse that used to
Yeah.
work with my grandpa and she would come and visit him every day that last week and say hi to him and stuff. So it's not everyone, but like the nursing home as a whole was not doing what they were supposed to be doing, which is
Frustrating.
frustrating. Yeah. Anyhow, uh
Got about 15 minutes left. So let's talk about what?
15 minutes. I have 52 minutes.
Yeah. I figured, like 15 minutes. It's about an hour and 15 podcast.
I didn't know we had a cap on our podcast.
Fine, bitch. We can just keep
I'm
talking,
just
man.
kidding.
I want to hear the story about the wedding.
The wedding. Okay, so first of all, obviously because we waited at the nursing home for Mel to come get him, we took off later than expected, and we had to drive an hour and a half away to the larger city where the wedding was taking place. And so like and I had clothes, but I didn't like them. So I wanted to get like a shirt, to like a nicer shirt, because I had one but it didn't fit me well, so I wanted one that like fit me better. And so we wanted to stop at Walmart, and so we got to the city, went to Walmart, and I'm booking it at Walmart. Like my mom just sent me in alone to get like things because she hadn't packed any clothes. Obviously we took off, like we literally, the only reason why I had clothes is because I had pre-packed for the wedding, because I had to get Keenan's stuff ready, my stuff ready, so I was already packed, whereas my mom like wasn't. So I'm booking it through Walmart, trying to find her a pair of shorts and a tank top to sleep in that night, trying to find Keenan and I swimsuits so we can go swimming the next day, and also a nice shirt. And I'm stressing out because we're literally like 30 minutes away from like the wedding, and like I needed to shower, I needed to change, I was like all these things. So I'm rushing through, and then I get everything and the line is literally so long in Walmart. I was like, oh my fucking god. So I'm sitting there freaking the fuck out, stressing, holding all these clothes that I just rushed through. And so finally I get out of checkout. There's like 15 minutes to get to the hotel, shower, and like the wedding is starting in like 15 minutes. So I get out to the pickup and my mom's like, I figured we'd just go to the reception. I was like, bruh.
This bitch.
I was stressing so hard, and I was like, you couldn't just send me a message like while I was in there, like, hey, I think we'll just go to the reception. Which is fine. I was like, yeah, that's perfect anyways, because like imagine Keenan running around church. I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. Whatever. But so we get up to the hotel room. I shower, and everything was like in the same hotel, like the reception and everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So we were like one of the like first people there, obviously, because we didn't go to the wedding. Dude. It was huge. There were so many tables set up, and I'm like, oh my god, I am going to hate this. And like the table that we were sitting at was like right in the middle, like in front of the dance floor. Like, oh my gosh. So everything hasn't started yet or whatever, but people are like coming in, and Keenan's like running around, whatever, doing Keenan things, and then like so I'm like stressing out because it's a huge room, right? And like just as a parent, you don't want to lose sight of your children, because that could be like in an instant they're gone. So like I'm like not having a fun time. And my mom just keeps feeding me more wine on an empty stomach, and I'm just like stressing because Keenan's like running around. So finally it gets to a point where my mom's like, just stop, like he'll be fine. And then like, so I would periodically go check on him because all the kids were like running around in the hallway outside. And the one time that I checked on him, he was hitting and pushing kids. So I was like, no, this is not fine. So I grab him and I'm like, you cannot hit, you cannot kick, you cannot push. Like all of the things like that I was worried about that he was gonna be doing, he was doing. So I was like, argh. Anyways, so we eat, and like the dance portion starts, and they had a little kiddie table, so Keenan was at the kiddie table by the DJ or whatever, and he danced a little bit, and like, but there was a portion where like, I was like really, really stressed, and my mom's like, just chill, and I'm like, I cannot. This is literally my worst nightmare. Like, I literally said to her, like, this is stressful for me. This is too many people, and like losing sight of my child, it's just like all of the no-nos that I hate were like in one spot, and I was like, I cannot handle this anymore. Like I literally said that to her. I was like, I cannot handle this. So like I let him dance for a little bit, and then after that I was like, okay, I'm done, we need to go. So I grabbed him and I took him, or I said to my mom, I'm done, I'm gonna go. You know, like at this point everything has like happened, like the food, the intros, all that, you know, wedding reception stuff had happened, and I was done. So I was like, I'm gonna head up to the room, and yeah, I felt much better once I got the fuck out of there.
I felt much better when I was in my room by myself alone with my child and not hitting other kids.
Oh my god, I was just
I cannot imagine. That sounds like a literal nightmare.
Whereas like, and that's why like when my husband was like, when we were talking about going to the wedding that we just got back from, I was like, there's no way we're taking Keenan. I cannot handle that again.
Wait, so your husband was there?
No, for the Zach and Courtney
wedding. For other wedding.
He wanted to bring Keenan with us, because he's like, I don't know if he'll survive the night without us. And I was like,
he will be
bitch,
fine.
you gonna learn. Because
but if you want to bring that child, he's your child tonight.
Well, that's what I was like, if we bring him, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna end up having fun with all of our friends getting drunk, and I'm gonna be the one chasing after Keenan, and I don't want to do that. And he's like, no, I'll do it. And I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. You're literally a groomsman.
Too well.
You're literally a groomsman, and like, I know you. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So we left Keenan, and I had a much better time at that wedding.
Shocking.
No offense to Keenan, but he's just a
Well,
lot
it's also like
sometimes.
one wedding was your family and one wedding was your friends.
Well,
I feel
not
like there's a different
even
vibe.
like not even okay, so like not even my family. Like this wedding was for my mom's cousin's daughter. So I literally
You
knew.
don't even have any like a relationship to this person.
No, no relation at all. I went for the swimming pool. I went so me and Keaton could go swimming. That's why I went to this wedding. I literally knew my mom.
I only went for the jacuzzi.
I knew my mom, my uncle, my cousin. That's it. And this is a giant room of fucking people. I knew 3 of them.
Bro, I don't I hate weddings. I hate weddings.
Yeah.
I get the bouquet every time because I'm tall as fuck. But I hate weddings. I hate them. I hate them every time. I remember like my sister's friend got married and I was invited to the wedding. Like our entire family was. And I got the bouquet at her and her sister's weddings. I just want to say I may have like slide tackled / dove under a table to get it, but I got it at both weddings. And I remember like raising my arms in victory and I had pit stains. And because I had been dancing my fucking ass off and it was just not it. Then there was one time where I had like a partner on the dance floor and he wanted to do like the sprinkler move. He's like, do you know how to do I was probably like 13. He's like, do you know how to do the sprinkler move? And he was kind of cute. And so I was just like, and walked off the dance floor because I didn't know he was too cute for me.
He was too cute.
He was probably like 37, but you know.
Shut down.
I was just like, I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. And I walked out the dance floor and I was so embarrassed I wanted to leave. I'm like, no, I hate it.
But yeah, so
oh, I hate weddings so much because like I always think that I'm having a good time until I see the photos afterwards. And then I'm like,
oh, I did not have a good time.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I did not have a good time at all.
Pit stains.
Pit stains.
I
do have like
a pit stop.
I have a side story. So obviously I went up to my room and
you got into your swimming suit and went to the pool.
No, it was closed by then. But Keenan was basically asleep. I was almost asleep when my mom came in, completely trashed. And she starts telling me about she got in a fight with my uncle's new girlfriend, and I was like, what? And I was like, and you know, her drunk ramblings or whatever, I always go be the bad guy, I'm always the bad guy or whatever it is, so whatever. So in the morning
a random child has appeared.
In the morning, we were at the swimming pool and I saw my uncle and his girlfriend were leaving, so I was just waving at them, and there was an outside door that you couldn't open from the outside, but I could open it to hug them and whatever, say goodbye. And they said, oh, we had like a book for Keenan because it was on the kitty table. There were like toys and stuff that kids could grab, and he grabbed a book. So they're like, oh, you forgot this or whatever. So and I was like, and his girlfriend's like, I'm really sorry about last night. And I was like, what happened? And my uncle's like, or she's like, she took the bouquet from a girl after it was thrown. So literally this is what happened, right? The bouquet toss, right? This girl grabbed it and she was super happy, and my mom literally walked by and took it. My uncle has a video of it. My mom just swiping the bouquet from this girl.
Oh my god.
And this girl, I guess, apparently was like crying and like really upset about it. So the girl So my uncle's girlfriend like took it back, gave it back to her, and like I guess that's what the fight was about, was that like, oh, my mom took it and like she put it back. I was like, why didn't you give it back? And I was like, oh my fucking god.
That's my mom.
That's my mom. Fucking stealing bouquets. I was like, literally, why? Like, so I had figured that that's what happened through her like drunk ramblings, but I'm like, why did you even take it? You're already married. I'm very confused why you took it in the first place.
Why were you even in the group of people together?
She wasn't. That's the thing. She wasn't. She was. Why you took it? Like, that's the whole thing. She wasn't in the group.
Just to drive by a bouquet.
Yes.
I love that your mom is actually me. Your mom is definitely a Slytherin, my guy. Oh my god.
I was like, what the fuck? And like, this is like something I did not want to be dealing with at 2 a.m. So like the next morning when I'm talking to my uncle and my aunt, I was like, don't worry about it. She'll get over it. Like, it'll be fine.
If she even remembers.
Yeah, if she even remembers, it'll be fine. I was like, she just gets that way when she's drunk. And my uncle's like, yeah, she does.
He's like, it's my sister. I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is amazing.
But yeah.
Oh my god, my cheeks.
You're welcome.
That's a good place to end it, honestly,
Yeah.
unless you have more stories.
No, that was it.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Drive by
That's
flower
really
stealer.
Just a drive-by bouquet steal. Just a,
oh my god.
I would have the 2 husbands, you would have 0. Oh. Bitch, go steal your bouquet, bitch. Oh my god. Well, thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah. I don't know if we necessarily...
We brought you up to bring you all the way down to bring you back up with the bouquet, alright?
I don't know if we necessarily talked about, like, social anxiety, but, you know...
I don't think we did. I think we mostly just talked about, like, funerals and, like, death and...
Yeah, sorry about that.
Funerals and weddings, like...
Part of life. Circle of life.
I mean, I still feel like the title kind of
don't make me do it, yeah. Because like,
please don't make me do this.
Don't make me plan a funeral when I'm just the grandchildren, and don't make me go to a giant wedding where I know 3 people.
And don't make me go to a Walmart that has a line out the back. The fuck?
That was ridiculous. Anyways,
just so I can go to the car that you can tell me that we're just going to the reception so you can steal this poor girl's bouquet. The fuck? Oh my god.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, and don't forget to
listening.
And listening.
No one drink and drive.
What?
Who are you?
And if you're not subscribed and want to be subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's free on YouTube, so
yeah. Do that if you want. Yes.
I'm just gonna lay it out here. Might as well. Next week is gonna be our 2nd episode of what have we named it? Unorganized Chaos, which we'll probably talk about more of my time away. Not about funerals though. Special announcement for the spooky month of October.
We'll have a very special secret guest.
We have a secret guest for all of October. And we'll be doing spooky stories.
Spooky stories.
So I'm super excited about that. I hope you guys are super excited about that. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and we will see you next time.
That's what she said. That's what she said. Got it.
Bye.
Bye.
Maybe I should
double check. We double check. We
should be recording.
Where do I?
Okay. I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm not ready. I don't know. Oh god. Okay.
It's been a while.
Stressful. It's been so
It's been
long.
a while. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's
I have traffic
get
stories.
that out. And then we have planned a very special October for everybody.
Okay, Suzanne. We're love.
What's wrong? You got a boo-boo? All better? Okay. Those are spicy.
Yes, I see.
Okay. Go outside the door and so I can finish real quick.
Go outside the door. Just the other side.
Shut the door.
Leave it open. That's
Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine.